shortly after taking off at a speed of approximately 180 knots, and within 1 second of each other, both the fuel control switches on the Boeing 787 went from on to off. Shortly thereafter, one of the pilots asked the other, "Why did you do that?" To which the second pilot says, "I didn't." At that stage, the pilots moved to fighting to get the engines back on, because if the fuel switches have been switched off, then the engines are starved of fuel. They are essentially switched off and they stop thrusting or developing thrust, which you require right after you take off to ensure that the aircraft flies out. What is important to know is that the engines did develop thrust. One of the engines did restart. Remember, the 787 is designed to be able to fly out in a single engine. As I understand it, perhaps the second engine did have a successful restart as well, but it didn't start thrusting properly or enough. In fact, none of the two engines did, which is why, as the footage indicated, the Boeing 787, it took off and then it appeared to slowly go down because the engines just weren't thrusting enough and it crashed. There was a mayday call. That's already been released earlier on.
Right.
The air traffic controller did respond, but by then it was too late. Aditi, if this aircraft had a few thousand feet more of altitude and a little bit more time and a little bit more speed, they would have gotten out of this.